so we are switched in. And looking at the civilizations, Influenzino is going for Mongols, Genossi Huns, Bucino is Viking, whereas Miguelzen is Mongol, Gach is Viking, and Alucard Guts is Hun. So we have a proper mirror, sorry. So we'll be seeing exactly the battle decided yet again on the skill here. And well, the first to have a look at is Influenzino, who is quite nicely scouting already, discovering double stone right next to his home base. But so far, not any kind of piggy in here. So where is it hidden? He has discovered the gold. Piggy no, Wolfie in here. Pig is on the left, the second one also. So, is he going to discover it sometime soon? Probably so. I would be guessing he would be finding this one sooner than the left one. But yeah, seems like that I'm wrong. And once he actually discovers that, I'm just going to switch into other players. And yeah, right now he knows where it is. And he has already also signaled that there's a bit of a water in there. So this is how the map actually looks like. You see a bit of a patches of water, quite bountiful in the fish in here on the right side and also on the left. Whereas in the middle there's quite a lot of rivers and also quite a lot of shallows that are important to wall up, as if you don't wall up you are just opening yourself and your allies to some pretty nasty raiding. Yep, let's see how serious actually the teams are going to be taking the walling. Influenzino, or rather Genossi is taking it very seriously indeed, as he's already trying to prepare himself for any kind of shenanigans from his opponents, but well, you will be probably seeing proper walling a bit later from other players, and well, just thinks that he needs to wall as soon as possible so that not any kind of scout from his opponent reaches his lands. But unfortunately for him, there's still a way through in here at the bottom. But well, so far, let's have a look somewhere else. If we see some multicolored dots, here's some home base that would signal stealing. Well, so far I don't see anything. So far I don't see anything at all. Yeah, just right now talking with Glazin together with Alucard Guts, they're not really seeing anything at all. But well, you can see that Yellow is already well aware of his double wars that are nicely positioned for him. But looking how he's actually facing Gach on the left, he might be wanting to be a bit careful about the bar. Oh, he was so close to actually going there for the bar and steal it. And right now he actually could very safely. Oh well. He kinda could, and if Puccino wasn't paying enough attention, which he maybe wouldn't because he's right now running to the bottom. Well, yeah, this kinda passe, but still, it could have been quite fun game for him if he was able to steal that, but so far, not happening in here. So let's have a look, for example, at the blue base, and he's already butchering one of the pigs, whereas the second one is... Where is the second board? Ah, at the back. Okay, so no any kind of problem. He should be also knowing it about, rather knowing about it sometime soon. You can also see that Alucard Guts is going for a bit of a mill in here, switching into the build. That's going to be a question of seconds before he drops it. Or is it going to be actually a dock? Oh, it's actually a dock. I was thinking he might be going for a mill next to his hunt, but it seems like that not, that he is going to use his scout to actually lure it in, which is also a pretty nice idea of him. And well, we see a bit of a crash, and Miguel is going to be going for a scout rush in here. So Alucard Guts is yet again going to be the one who will be attempting to win the water at the very early stage of the game, with Influenzino also having drop the dock right in the middle here. He will be close to his Genossi ally. Well, that's going to be a pretty dangerous double from them, quite obviously. Yellow player is having dock. Interestingly, kinda adventurously, and it's literally the middle of the map, and he will have very nice maneuvering positioning, rather maneuvering possibilities from this spot, and I really like this placement, as it could really help him quite a lot. Bit of a fight in between Yellow Scout and Grey Scout, which could be joined by Miguelson very soon. So I'm maybe thinking that that could actually be the plan here, but Gach definitely needs to go back if they plan to do something about it. And just down there here. Much to be seen. And well, let's have a look for the other bars and other docks. This is as defensive dock as you could see from Gach. He's definitely not thinking that he can waste resource gathering time from his villagers, otherwise he would have built it somewhere here potentially. Something similar to the yellow player, but well, so far not happening. And purple has built his dock at the top as well, so it seems like there's going to be a duo of Miguel with Alucard Guts at the top. Whereas at the right side we're going to be seeing double of Genossi together with Influenzino. And the last players are going to be having a bit of a 1v1 maybe, but Puccino could be joining the fight literally anywhere. Bloom is coming in from him, whereas Feudal Age is from Influenzino and Miguelzin. which are Mongol, rather who are Mongols, both of them. And I'm really still curious why there is no walling coming up. Well, you can see that Influenzino is also not walling. He's building another dog, and it really seems like that is going to be business for him on the water. And well, Alucard's now saying that he's against Mongol, and yep, that he definitely is. He should be walling up though, and as should be Miguelzin in the middle. As without walling, this is going to be quite hard for them to do anything. But you can see that Influenzino, or rather, that Kenossi has already walled at the very beginning, and is so far the only one. But Yellow seems to be putting a something in there as well. It's definitely going to help him. Just 2 hit points from finished. Seems to be that he was kinda impatient to get somewhere else with the villager, and well, he is really nicely working on this, and he will be owning this part of the map, which is going to help him quite nicely. As obviously, he will be controlling who is coming where on this kind of important shallow map. Also working on the wall in here. Well, I would have maybe walled in here and left the way open to his ally, but at the same time, looking how the ally wasn't walling, right now he finally is. There was a threat that somebody could have snuck through. Yeah, snuck I think is the past tense, and rather past participle, could have snuck through to the base and surprised him, which was exactly happening in the quarterfinals between Vic and BYT. And it definitely wasn't something that the Wicks were expecting, and it really cost them the game overall. Quite a lot of fishing spots in here for both of these players to gather from. Also a bit of a hunt in here, whereas we see the advances into the feudal ages right now trickling in. And also looking at the villages, Kenossi is definitely having quite a lot of villies, as he's advancing the latest, and he will be probably either jumping to the next age, into the castle age, or he will be yeah, he won't be slinging, I think. As a Hans, he's probably not going to be slinging. There's going to be just a castle age into water battle for him, and yeah, this is definitely going to help him quite nicely. Bit of a fight in between Alucard's scout and a villager who is trying to finish with the walling in here. Unfortunately for him, he's kind of building the walls from the wrong side. So he will be kind of trapped behind the wall in here. Well, not exactly sure that's something that he will be happy about. And really, still a wall missing. And still, that means that there would be open way for any kind of units from LoS, or rather from the Jedi, to go into the bases of LoS. Now first fighting on the water at the left side, which is going to be pretty much equal because there are double docks from Influenzino, which are right next to the one dock from the blue player. Well, already 3, but he definitely needs all the extra docks in here because obviously he needs to be closer to his opponent so that he can replenish as fast as he can. Yeah, you can see right now he has escaped this prison on the opponent's land and has returned back to his own side. At the bottom, there's a lot of yellow coming into battle, coming to do battle with grey player Gach, who is already being prepared, so I don't really expect any kind of substantial victory for either of the side. Especially looking that they are both Vikings, this will be a pretty equal battle and will be decided by sheer skill of both of these players. Quite a lot of dogs really from yellow, who is already finishing with stonewalling as well. Okay, so that's pretty nicely played and definitely going to be stopping any kind of attempt at raiding by purple, who will be quite nicely forced to do something else. As right now he's just trying to push through the wall in here, and he's going to be sorely disappointed when he discovers all these yellow gates here. Well, almost gates, rather just normal walls. There's also a bit of raiding at the very back, as he has gotten there. How? Through here. There is still a way through. And here. Here. Yeah, that was probably his route. That was a pretty long one, but he was able to find his way through, so that's a pretty nice, good job by Miguelzen. And even though he wasn't able to punish, or rather push through enough units in here, it's still going to be enough and quite helpful for him. Market actually being built by Kenossi, so he might be slinging in the end. But looking how he's also having blacksmith. Not really positive about that, and it's probably going to be just for some other purpose in here. A lot of boat battle on the top side between Influenzio and Alucard gods. One extra dog from green at the very back, so that he has some kind of access to the backside. And a sheep guarding the relic. But otherwise, so far, not really all that much interesting stuff going on here. It's a bit of a idles, but they seem to have just finished, so they shouldn't be idle for much longer for Miguelzin. He's actually leading by quite a lot. by 200 in score, which is a big difference. Whereas on the team score it's 30 difference, so they are doing pretty good job so far, LoS. And well, let's see if they can actually pull this off and force a fifth game, a decider on blind random. Would definitely be worth the match, or rather worth the game of this match, which is between the reigning champions, Lords of Skulls, and so far one of the favorites actually for the title, the Jedi beat. They are playing so well so far, and they are together with CZ Clan pretty strong favorites for the victory here, or rather here, whole tournament. So it's probably some kind of pause. Bit of a wall finishing by Gach at the middle, which he definitely needs to do. But still, finally a villager coming in from Gargats, who will be probably going for the wall in here, and maybe even some extra dog. That could definitely help him, but really, the wall needs to be finished sooner rather than later, and it's going to be a bit of a problem, as this galley seems to be a guard in this part of the map and might be putting this villager out of her misery. Just going to check into the game room what's happening in there. And we have just unpaused, so let's go back. It's a pretty nice micro battle, and since those boats are kinda half dead, if Alucard Guts was going for some pretty nice micro, he could be actually microing them one by one, and he would be lowering the numbers of the boats quite fast. And Palisade Wall is coming in, yeah, and that's going to be a bit of a problem for him, because Influencio might be noticing. But looking at the Fog of 4, just not. It's just out of sight, so yeah, it seems like the villager is actually safe and will be finishing with the wall without all that much of a problem. So Castle Age from Kenosi coming in. Whereas at the bottom there's a bit of a battle between Gach and Puccino. Gach is right now trying to force his opponent to retreat back to his docks, but looking how he has just built some extras right on the promontory in here on the corner. Well, he won't be really retreating anywhere else, as he doesn't need to. So yeah, this is going to be a battle for some time to come between those two Vikings, with Fletching coming in from Gach and Influenzinho. And we might be seeing some extra upgrades into the next ages sometime soon as well. Wow, quite a lot of radiant right now from Purple. And he is actually still having a freeway into the opponent's base, because there's not any kind of finished wall in here. Yeah, he has finished in here, he has seen that there's absolutely no way through, but there's still wide open road into his opponent's base, into Influencio. He's definitely paying for it, because he's having killed villagers, and really, this is something he did not expect at all. He could still be killing those guys in here, and he seems to be heading exactly the right way into the food village in here. Oh well, goodbye guys. And that's because Alucard actually has seen that, I think, and he has told him. Or does he actually have cartography? No, he doesn't have cartography, so that was just Alucard telling him. But he has already killed two villagers and disrupted the food gathering of his opponent, and also some wood gathering on the right. And yeah, this is a very good job. And he is just now getting into the base here, base of operations. But also this means that these guys are kinda not in the sweet spot, as they are fighting in pretty close quarters, but still, it's also meaning that Influenzinho is having trouble walling himself in, as obviously there's still these guys trying to get rid of them. So that's a villager downtime, and also villager death. You can see two villager dead, just one scout died, and that's going to be yet another ghillie dead, and yet another one. Can he finish with this gal? Oh yeah, he definitely can. Well, that's a lot of willies actually. That's 4 willies in here, 2 in here. That's 6 villagers dead for Influenzinho. He's right now just dropped to 28. Well, that could actually be making quite a lot of difference. And that's so sloppy. That's just this hole in the wall here. And that was exactly the threat at the very top. That could have been gone. That could have been going for the TheJedi, but so far isn't. And well. Yeah, exactly, Miguelzin. Pretty great job. And yeah, kinda sloppy play from Influenzinho, and it cost him quite dearly. At the top, it also means that Influenzinho was having problems with the economy on the water, which means that Alucard Guts has been able to basically roam free and rebuild his military without any kind of problem, which is a huge victory for him, whereas the raiding is still continuing. And is it going to continue into his opponent's base? Into the Green's base? Probably not, because he has been clever and he has finished with all the walling in here. Whereas at the bottom we still see a pretty equal battles between Gach and Puccino, but well, right now the Castle Ages are in, Gach is still in feudal, and Puccino will be in Castle Age pretty soon, so unless Gach is advancing fast, he will be needing some extra help. Which will be probably coming from Alucard Gods. He's already moving in there, so he might be even interested in killing the army before the war galleys are in. And we already see, yeah, very nice raiding from Miguelzin, and he is in yellow space, but he won't be killing all that many villagers in here, as obviously there's just so many of them, and scout cavalry is just so strong. But still, disruption of the economy is all that counts, and it will be helping at least a bit to his ally Gach, who is just now clicking into castle and won't be far behind Pucino. A very nice micro battle for Miguelzin. And he still can't send units through, and it's already night. Well, come on, the Jedi. I think they're absolutely oblivious of this hole in here. The only god is the wolf in here, which is not even the Jedi bee. Well, this is just so painful. This is just so painful. But finally, Pucino is at least recognizing that he's in pretty deep trouble. But with the knight coming in, that's going to be just a bit too much, I think. And he might be disrupting exactly what is coming in from his opponent. And yeah, all these three knights, if they can get in here fast enough, oh well, this is going to be it for Pucino. And this is so well played by LoS. I can't really say how sloppy this is from the Jedis. They were having it very nicely in their pocket, because obviously at the top Influenzinho was having a proper 1v1 with Alucard Guts, whereas at the bottom Gach was having with Pucino also pretty nice game, with Pucino being slightly ahead. But right now the Knights in Yellow's base, well, this is definitely going to help quite a lot. Even though he is in castle trying to build a town center, this might be some extra damage into Willis, and if he can catch some that are half dead before they can deposit themselves inside the TC, well, one dead, two dead, yeah, they were dead because they were already damaged from the scout cavalry raiding, and that's a third villager, fourth. Oh my, 5 villages dead for Pucino. Well. Miguelzin definitely has to be thinking quite well of him right now. Yet another 2 villages dead in here on the lumber camp. Another one, well, 4, that's 9 villagers already, so that's a pretty good count. 9 villagers dead for Pucino, who is down at 24. You hear this correctly, 24 villages, whereas his ally is at 72. 24 release for Pucino, and this should be pretty much mean the battle for him on the water, as I don't see he can come back from this. That's just too big of a disruption of the economy for him, and Pucino should be killed by Gach just on 1v1. And yeah, you can see that Influenzinho is not even coming back to the water, as he's basically just in an abyss behind the very back, looking at 35 villages, whereas his opponents are having 50, 39, 34, which is not all that much. Looking how actually the pocket Kenossi is having 80. He will be still a pretty big threat, and looking how he is Hans, he will be having quite beastly economy, and also quite strong army in the Castle Age, or rather in the Imperial Age when he advances. But well, will it be fast enough? Because the economies of Pucino are still in a pretty bad shape, and has lost yet another villagers here. Has 3 villagers dead in this spot, and well. Palisade wall is not enough. Palisade wall is simply not enough, and this route inside their bases is still free, and you can see that Miguelzin is sending absolutely everything in there. But finally there's a bit of a help and light at the end of the tunnel for the Jedi, as Kenossi is joining in the battle and having some knights helping in the battle here. So yeah, that's the moment where Miguelzin will have to retreat. He will probably be happy with those 4 knights in here. Will be forcing his opponent of the gathering for quite some time longer before they die, and he's also having some extra flank on the left, and yep, let's see if he can continue with this. Gach with Miguelzin talking about a bit of a sling. Yeah, that's exactly what we were expecting. That is going to kill Pucino's economy and his water battle overall, so he's not even fighting in here, and together with Alucard Guts they are having a bit of a fun. But also what is interesting to notice that Pucino did not give up on the water fully. He has just ran to the top, basically trying to wait for some better moment to fight. Or is he just waiting? I was maybe thinking that he could be going into the economy on the water, which is not really anything big. Definitely could be having a bit of a help here, Alucard Guts from the fish at the very top, which would help him. But well, so far not happening. And those knights will be killed sometime soon. But they might be taking this villager with them. They are interested in killing him. Can they? Yeah. Goodbye, villager. Yet another villager dead for Pucino, who is still at 30, but we also need to see that Kenossi is at 100. Just the 1 missing for the full 100, and yep, that's going to be a big difference in the next game, because obviously LoS don't have a strong player, but they have overall more villagers in there, but still might be making quite a lot of difference if he is so strong in here. So yep, this is a pretty nice play by Migazin, who has actually trapped some of the knights from Kenossi. So Kenossi will be forced to some extras. And some extras, and this is also a pretty big victory for LoS, because so far Kenossi, with his economy and his knights and overall, he could have been going for a full-on attack, but well, he isn't, and he's basically forced to defend against something that shouldn't be happening. And well, even though he has sent a lot of elites, or rather no, some knights into the offensive exactly through the same hole, I would be kinda guessing that Migazin could be cleverer, basically plugging it, because yeah, right now this is a hole in the other way. So yep, he should be careful about this, and he definitely isn't. We also see Alucard, who is developing a forward base right on the doorstep of his opponent, and that's how. Has he gotten there just through land, or has this been landing? Seems like he has actually gone there through the bottom. I haven't noticed that. So sorry about it, but he's definitely going a pretty good job. And yep, right now saying that he has landed him, and he is doing a pretty good job in there. So he should be putting Influence out of his position even more. Yeah, the score rate is pretty brutal right now for LoS, and well, let's see if he can kill some extra villages. Come on, just right. You have a bit of a villages on the left, and you can. Oh, with Mangonel in here. Oh well. Not any kind of military buildings from Influenzino, just so far a siege workshop. Let's switch into Influenzino. He's building hit. Did some Mangonels. So far not, as he doesn't have the economy, but yeah, he's also being heavily raided by all those chariot archers all around the map. And well, oh, here he goes. Here is the Mangonel, so that was a pretty good shot. But that's probably not going to be all that long lasting. And Puccino is just right now going to be positioning his ships in the middle, trying to prevent any kind of changing of the islands from his opponents. But well, you can see that Kenossi is having a pretty decent army of knights, even though he's not advancing into Imperial Age yet, whereas who is advancing? Gachen Migazin, which is a huge problem, as Kenossi is just now, and yeah, 2 players advancing into Imperial Age, whereas just 1 from the Jedi team. Well, I kinda guess that this is going to go. Gaf is having a pretty decent amount of boats in here, as he's going to be controlling this shoreline, and this could be preventing the help from green player into the teal one, which will be also a pretty big problem, because without any kind of help, I'm kind of thinking that he will be more or less toast, and these units might be the last ones that will be making something happen in here. So goodbye, Mangonel. Yeah, that's kind of that's kind of optimistic repair in there from this guy. And well, yeah, pretty good spot from here. Very nice placement of the archer ranges, and very sweet spot indeed for those cavalry archers. And he definitely should have stayed there, because it meant that only 2 knights would be fighting them, and a whole lot of extra firepower could be going into them. So yeah, he definitely should have stayed there, and he would have dealt some pretty decent blow into the opponent's economy, or rather into opponent's army. Sorry, it's just way too late for me right now, so I am having a bit of a problem saying the right things that I am wanting to say. Miguel's continuing in his favorite episode in here, and that's raiding. Right now switching into the pocket player, cannot see, having a bit of a problems. And well, Alucard's right now saying that he has been cleared, and yeah, that definitely he has been, and he will be forced to go for something else. Imperial Age for Kenossi also finished with Miguel's in Agach. So leather archer armor thumbring from Miguel's in. And look at how his Mongol is already having a castle. There will be probably next one in here, yeah, in here. So he will be pushing fully into Influenzino. And I would be kinda liking a... Why is he actually doing this? He can just go right through and build it here, inside his base. Yeah, if I were him, I would definitely risk it, because, yeah, so far, TheJedi are seriously oblivious to this kind of threat. And, well, yeah, either build it in the middle so that you can help either at the bottom or at the top, or just build it flat on in the opponent's base. That's not going to be all that much of an opposition, because this is a pretty sweet spot that could be defended by him, or wouldn't be discovered by the opponents. But well, galleons are coming in from Gah, and he is very interested in owning the water altogether, and that's also very important on rivers, because with elite cannon galleons in the Imperial Age, you are controlling quite a lot of shoreline, and looking how close actually Yellow's base is to the shoreline, he can definitely shoot with cannon galleons into the TC, wreck the economy of the yellow player, and also quite some buildings from the green one. He's also switching as you can see, into pikemen, so that's a pretty nice job, but I'm not thinking they're going to be all that successful, or rather, yeah, all that useful, because obviously they are not going anywhere as long as those galleons are guarding. Angora is already being prepared, already broken through the wall here. Yet another castle being dropped, and next one, please, already drop in their opponent's base. Well, that's exactly the spot where Miguelzin, where I was hoping that Miguelzin would be dropping his, but it's Influenzino, and yeah, it's a pretty strategic position for him. And looking how he's Mongol and advancing into Imperial Age, Miguelzin should be hurrying up, because if he doesn't, he might lose the opportunity that is just now open for him. He though needs some extra siege. So far he's going for just a lot of trebuchets. He will be switching into siege workshop pretty soon. Right now he's seeing what is happening in here. So yeah, he knows that the castle with the university are dropping down. And he also knows that Influenzio will be quite soon in the Imperial Age, because you usually don't go as a Mongolian player for Mangurais before you are ready for that. So it seems like that there's going to be a double of Genosian Influenzino at the top side. So let's see how well that is going to go. Well, not expecting a long lifespan for these trebuchets. They're probably going to be killed pretty soon, if not by the knights or Mangurais, then by the Mangonel. Whereas at the bottom, do we see some kind of push from Grey already onto yellow? So far not, but I kind of think that he should hurry up, because if he doesn't, he will be allowing yellow to do something. Oh yeah, exactly as I'm talking about it, he is actually going for a pretty tricky landing. And he has successfully landed his opponent, and once this castle is up, it's going to be a GG, and we already see the results, and very nicely played from LoS, and super parading from Miguelzin that basically killed two players at once. He killed Influenzino at the very start, and then he just totally smashed Muzzino. Well, damn nicely played, and we are tied at 2-2, and we will be seeing the decider at blind random. Okay, so pretty nicely done. Let's have a look at the achievements. Miguel Zenas MVP, most definitely. There's absolutely no doubt about that. Well, nicely played, as we are starting yet another game. GG.